It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper.
What's going on, everyone? Tech Me Out here, and in this video I'm going to be giving my first ever desk tour. So behind me is my desk. I've been holding off forever on doing this video. I don't know, I guess I held off because I wanted the desk setup to look a certain way, and I think it's closer to that now. Of course, it still needs some improvements here and there, but I figure instead of holding off any longer, I will include you all on the progress of me getting my desk to be the way I want it to be. But in the meantime, this is my workstation. Come along. All right, so first item here is this chair. So this chair is made by a company known as Langria, I believe it's pronounced. I'm gonna throw everything up that I'm talking about down below in the description box. But ultimately, this is a mesh back chair. It's super comfortable. It has this kind of curved back here, which I really like because it allows me to sit up a little bit further in the chair and still be comfortable. But I have a few back issues, so I definitely need a chair that has this type of back to it, because it gives me that lumbar support. It also has a mesh bottom. Like I said, it's pretty comfortable. The armrests go up, which is really nice, so then I can move them out of the way and fit this under my desk. As my chair before this, I had to literally take the arms off because it wouldn't fit under the desk. So with this option, I can have my armrests when I need them and remove them when I don't. So I really like that about this. And then of course you can recline somewhere down here, up and down, but I think right now it's at its lowest setting, so I can't go down any further, but I can go up. Sounds like the rule of life there. Next item over here I have is my mouse. So the theme, I guess you can kind of say that I'm going for, I am torn between the space gray and the gold look. So yeah, I'll figure out which of the two will be the dominant one, but in the meantime, I have a little mixture of both. So this keyboard here is actually made by Logitech, and I have a lot of items up here from Logitech and Synology, but ultimately this is the Logi keyboard. The neat thing about this, as you probably saw there, is once it detects that your hand is near, it's actually a backlit wireless Bluetooth keyboard, so it'll go ahead and light up the keys and everything because it can detect that your hand is near it. But aside from this being your regular wireless keyboard with the numerical pad over here, you have this little dial. So this dial is actually going to serve the purpose of basically when you're in like a program, it's going to allow you to either zoom in or out or have certain customization features. Like in Photoshop, it'll let you do a little bit more than you normally could. So you have the option to touch, tap, and turn in like your favorite applications. It's really just going to unlock a little bit more than you can normally do with the use of this. And you can also pair up to 3 different devices with it as well. But ultimately, it kind of defaults to controlling the volume when it doesn't control. I think I turned on the music by accident. Sorry about that. But ultimately, it controls the volume when it does not control anything else. It's something that I've learned about it or noticed about it. But I really love this keyboard. It's really comfortable to use. I don't have any complaints in terms of being able to get a good experience when I'm typing on this. So no complaints there. So that's the keyboard that I'm using right now. But next to it, what I have is the MX Master Mouse 2. So at one point I was using a trackpad, but then I moved over to a mouse because I was actually catching like cramps in my hand and using the trackpad, I guess from all the editing and the motion of my finger kind of thing. It would just cramp up and it would start to be really uncomfortable. So I switched to a mouse, and thus far I haven't had any comfort issues or anything like that. And I love that the buttons actually can be customized to kind of further your experience in terms of what you need when you need it. So in the center here, you have your scroll wheel, and this is of course going to pan your page up and down. But over here is actually how you can slide from left to right when you're browsing things like that. And then at the bottom, just like the keyboard, you have the option to pair this with more than one device. But overall, it's very comfortable. It naturally curves with your hand and it doesn't feel too big or bulky. So I really like this. And the battery on both of these are really good. So behind this mouse and keyboard, I have a stand from Synology. Down here under the monitor, I actually have my hard drives. And the one on the left is what I use to back up my computer. Both of them are made by LaCie, but that one pretty much stays here. But to the right of that, I have my rugged external hard drive. And that one is a little bit more portable. It does come with me, and it's ultimately kind of what I archive things to. I wanna say they're both around the 4 or 5 terabyte range. I just keep them here, so if I'm editing a video on my computer and I notice I'm running low on space, I can quickly just plug in the rugged drive and dump it there. But not only do I dump it there, but I archive everything to my Synology Nas Station. It's a DS916 Plus, and I really use it to archive like all of my videos. So I back them up on the rugged drive, and that more so comes with me, but then everything is like permanently stored as well on my DS916 Plus. And I have, I think, 8 terabytes in there, so it can wirelessly connect to my computer, but sometimes I will occasionally connect it via Ethernet to my computer, but that's pretty much where everything lives, even once I delete it off of my computer and the portable hard drive. But back to the setup. So you probably noticed here on top of the monitor stand, I have this little Microsoft thing here. This was from when I attended a conference, the Microsoft Ignite conference. And this was a little keepsake that I took back with me. So I don't know, I thought it looked nice and it looks good on the desk. And I actually have a video from that event that is still on my editing reel. So if it's something that you want to see, you know, my experience of when I went there, definitely hit that like button and drop a comment down below so I know to put a little bit more speed into getting that completed for you before the end of the year. But yeah, that's why that's there. Now the monitor here that I'm using is a 34-inch LG UM, I want to say 98. If I'm wrong, you're going to find that information down below. But this is what I edit all of my videos on. So I dock my MacBook 15-inch Pro with the touch bar to this monitor, and it is more than enough space than I need. I actually found myself looking at like this portion of the screen from here to here versus down there. So it's almost a little bit too much for me. And I'm honestly actually looking at getting a different monitor because this one doesn't have USB-C, still has USB ports on the back, and my computer uses USB-C. So I think it would be just a little bit more cohesive to make everything USB-C enabled up here as much as possible so I can get rid of hubs and things like that. Plus, I don't know, this is not, to me, the same resolution that I see on my MacBook here. So when I'm editing my 4K videos, it just seems not as crisp as it looks on my MacBook. So I know the new LG monitors that they have at Apple, I want to say, the LG Ultrafines. To me, those look more comparable to what I see on my MacBook. So that might be something that I move into eventually. All right, but right now I have my MacBook connected to my monitor using a Thunderbolt 2 cable. But let me venture over. This little guy right here is from a company known as Apollo Box. And I just thought it looked really good. It adds, I don't know, a little character to the table. And I find it pretty neat that you can actually just turn this dial and turn the light off. You can kind of dim it a little bit. But I don't know, I just thought it looked cool. It's not your typical lamp. But I'm gonna link their website down below. They have a lot of unique items that I think you all might like that are not only good for your desk, but just good in general. And then here, I just have a little cup that has some pencils in here. This is just really for decorations. I don't ever use these. And then I also have my remote, which I do use to control the LEDs behind my desk. And speaking of those LEDs, they are from Amazon. They're like a cheap $20, $25 pair of LEDs. They're not Hue enabled, but I am gonna connect them to a smart adapter so that even though they're not Hue lights, I'll be able to still control them with my phone. Now right here, this thing that the cups are on is a little drawer that I got from, I wanna say Michael's. So I know they have a variant like this that is double the price of what I paid. I think I paid probably like $30, $40 for this. But I know IKEA has one that's about $80. And I will say, even though this one was cheaper in price, it's not cheap in quality. So I haven't had any issues with it. I have my wheels down here so I can move it. Ultimately, I have my drawers in here. They do have the hard wooden bottoms, so there's no fabric at the bottom to protect things. But overall, I love it. It serves its purpose. It gives me access to some things that I need in the moment at my desk where I don't want to have to get up. So that's basically what I use that for. But moving over here, connected to my computer, I have my USB-C hub by Hitachi. I'm not gonna pull it all the way out right now because it's kind of tucked under there real good. But on that hub, I have a Ethernet port, USB port and USB-C ports, I wanna say. Ultimately, that's where I connect everything to my computer, and there's also an SD card slot up there as well. Now these speakers here, these speakers are by Logitech and they're known as the MX Sound. So what it has are these little sensors here that can actually detect when your hand's in front of it to illuminate these options. Overall, the quality of these is pretty good. It has a nice low end and an even balanced sound, and aesthetically they look nice as well, so they're not too big and bulky. But I really like the way these perform. You also have some additional ports on the back. And as you might be able to tell, they are Bluetooth, which I like, so you don't have to physically connect to your computer. But currently this is what's powering the sound for my setup right here. So yeah. And then going over on the other side, what we have are some stands by Synology. So this one here is a lightning stand. So it only has a lightning connector in there. Therefore, it will only connect to Apple devices. So currently I have my phone docked in here. This is the iPhone 10. I'm using that one. And I'm also using the OnePlus 5. So this is currently under review right now. This is also on a Synology stand. It doesn't have the capability to charge, but it does tilt at different angles. So it can give me a better view of my phone. But I do have the charging cables for this right here. So I just kind of stretch it out and then put it underneath and connect it to the phone. But this is a USB-C cable. I just keep it tucked under here along with the micro USB cable, and I just kind of pull them out when I need them. And oh my God, how did I forget the desk? The desk here is from IKEA. I can't remember the series. I want to say it's I don't know, I'm not even gonna mess up the name, but I'm gonna link it down below. I liked it because one, it's big, it has these nice thick legs, so very sturdy, it can definitely hold some weight. And then beneath it, I actually have a built-in, cable management net, which is really nice, even though my cable management still sucks. So do not judge me on that. It's a work in progress, like I said, y'all. I can't seem to get that cable management right. But nonetheless, it helps because it could look a lot worse without it, but it has a little cargo net down there to hold my cables, which I liked about it as well. And I have a shredder down there and my printer by HP. So those are two things that I use to, shred up some documents that you don't want anybody else to find. And also my printer, of course, to print things when I need it. But looking up, these two paintings I have here, I actually got them from Kirkland's and they were on clearance. If I can find them on their website, I'll link them. But yeah, those are some paintings in which I have, those are some canvas prints in which I have. I was stuck for the longest time on what art I would put up. And then I found these and it's like they spoke to me. And they were very inexpensive, which made them speak louder. So, needless to say, I like this setup thus far. And of course, with thanks to you guys, I have my play button right there smack in the center for my 100,000 subscribers. I wanna say right now we're knocking at 130 and climbing. So Team TMO, you already know. I appreciate the support. If y'all want to continue to support the channel, please share this video and others in which I create. You can also cop some merch. Eat, Sleep, Tech Me Out, Repeat gear. I'm gonna link this and my merch store down below for you so you can check that out. But I think I've covered everything. If I happen to forget something and you're curious about it, just let me know down in the comments section. And if you have any recommendations in terms of what I can do to make my desk setup that much better, drop that down below as well. And as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.